Greetings! Grandmaster Grasshopper and I wanted to teach you our two favourite tools for learning how to be present in the magic of the moment so the children can be free. And the first one, obviously, is having a baby, because he really notices and gets quite pissed off indeed if I'm not paying 100% attention to him, like right now, and really forces you to forget everything you had planned to do and bounce around in the moment for hours and hours and hours all day. So make one or pick one up at your local pizza parlor or wherever, what? But if you don't want to do that because celibate monk, vow of silence, or you just value your liberty, time, sleep and sex life, then just get one of these. Oh yes, the humble carrot, guru of gurus. Doesn't need feeding, doesn't wake you up at night. Oh, it's a devil carrot. Ah! But anyway, carrot. And I'm going to teach you how to use it. And this is absolutely not a joke. I got this meditation from Dr. James Jealous, the founder of biodynamic osteopathy, who got it from Rudolf Steiner, who I assume got it from his veg patch. So here we go. Step one, get your carrot. Big, small, young, old, chewed, new, unicorned or double-horned. Take your pick. All depends on the size of your ego, I guess. Step two, go and sit down somewhere. Anywhere. It could be on your daddy's lap, on a chair, on a railroad track, maybe not, or a cafe where everybody can see how conscious you are with your kombucha and a carrot. And step three, I think, do your best, your absolute best, to be centered and present as much as you can in the moment. And give yourself a chance, okay? Because the carrot's had a bit of a head start, but when you're ready, look down at thy humble carrot, which you have placed beside thee. I forgot to say, very important step, place thy humble carrot beside thee. And ask thyself the very important question. Prepare for instant Satori, okay? Am I spending more effort and energy trying to be present than this carrot? And if so, how much more effort am I spending trying to be present? And that's it. Pretty mind-blowing, right? I mean, I try to do this meditation at least once a week to remind myself that life is hard enough. It takes enough energy, especially if you're a poor little projector like me. Then to spend even more energy just trying to be present and be yourself, that's ridiculous. And of course, obviously, the joke is that when you let go of whatever your fixed idea or definition of being present means, and you just allow whatever's happening, whatever's traversing your conscious experience to just do its thing, then there you are. And so is the carrot. And so is everything else in nature that doesn't have this pesky frontal cortex on top that thinks that just because it's experiencing life means that it's in any way somehow in control of it. It's that thing of tree doesn't try and be a tree, carrot doesn't try and be a carrot, baby doesn't try to be a baby. He's not thinking about how he could, should, would have, will do a better version of Goo Goo Gaga, and how he'll only be happy once he gets his Maserati and manifests his ideal soulmate or whatever kind of bollocks like that. He's just taking it in, and yeah, he hasn't been brainwashed yet, and I'm going to do my best to avoid doing that to him with the lie of free will, which I know a lot of people have quite an issue with accepting the concept of no choice in human design. But I have a lot of doubts about almost everything. I have no idea about UFOs, but one thing I have zero doubt about is that there is no free will, no choice, and life is a movie that you either surrender to or you suffer. And being yourself is not something that you can do. Yeah, that's right. It's ridiculous, isn't it? The human design chart is not telling you what to do or who to be. It's simply a map of how to get there to yourself, which is not something that can be defined, something to be discovered. I know. That's it. Play with devil carrot. And what happens is, as you learn to observe yourself making decisions according to your natural strategy and inner authority, or not, and you see that, hey, my body is much more intelligent than this thing on top. So why is this thing on top constantly telling me how to be a better human, telling your body how to, be a better version of yourself, as if that exists somehow? By definition, you are unique and there is no comparison, but social conditioning will tell you otherwise. Then you learn to detach what's happening up here from your actions coming from the intelligence of your body. And what happens up here starts becoming more like entertainment. You also get into a lot less arguments, at least I do, than before. I still enjoy a good argument, but I know that, hey, if my thoughts aren't actually that useful for making a good decision for myself, then maybe my opinions aren't actually that important either. And so maybe other people's opinions are just like their opinion, dude, too. And so it kind of has dampened down my ego desire to kill everything that disagrees with me. But of course, what also happens is that you just start to have much more mental space to be aware, because you're not constantly judging and comparing yourself and what you did and what you're going to do. Of course, that carries on. We've all been compromised with our education and upbringing, but you don't take it so seriously anymore. So you can just be present like a good old carrot. Human design is very much like Taoism. A lot of people have pointed that out. In Taoism, when you're trying to accumulate knowledge and skill and become better and cleverer and everything else, whether materially or spiritually, that's obviously a process of accumulation of, I'll get this, then I'll get that, and then I'll be somewhere that you never ever get to. Whereas the process of the Tao, of learning to live according to your nature and be yourself, is a process of subtraction, because you learn that you don't have to put energy into things and people and work, and just because your mind tells you to, unless you really feel it in your body. And so over time, especially in that first 7-year deconditioning process, and no, you cannot speed that up, nor would you want to, it's a lot of things start to fall out of your life, habits and people and work which don't really correspond with you, because you don't feel any kind of artificial obligation to put energy into them, which is just coming from your not self. And over time, things drop away and drop away and drop away until you're left with a bit closer to your carrot, which is the original version of yourself, not some kind of better or improved version. There is nothing to improve and there is nothing wrong with you. It's all the other stuff on top and the comparisons that is there to prevent you just being and experiencing the wonder of being alive, which I believe is all there is to it, fundamentally. And all that comparison and the lie of free will and choice is just a social control mechanism made up by religions and all that to force you through guilt, blame, shame, fear, praise and punishment to try to conform and not be yourself, and not just experience life, but be constantly analyzing and judging it. And in a way, that is the role of the frontal cortex, to analyze and judge and compare, but not yourself and what you're doing. It's here to become wise about experiencing whatever you're here to experience through being present, and that's the only way. Anyway, I hope at least some of that rambling is useful in some way, but I really love this simple meditation because we can get so caught up in spiritual practices. I used to try and force myself to do really 3 or 4 hours of Qigong, Tai Chi meditation every day, and I'd beat myself up if I didn't. And yeah, I might have got a bit better at Tai Chi, but did it make me happier? Did it make me more comfortable in my own skin? Of course not. And so many people build up these huge routines of postures and prayers and journaling before they can feel even ready or protected enough to tackle the day after a raw kale superfood smoothie, of course. And when you have a kid, you realize you don't have time for that. In fact, you never did, because life is the real practice. And as an extra bonus question to that exercise, if you're up for it, you can ask yourself, so who is observing yourself being present or not? And who is observing the observer who is aware of the fact that you're aware of the fact that you're aware that you're aware, which is not a question that it's healthy to ever actually try to answer. So yeah, chill out. It's just a question. And a question I often get asked in my meditation classes is, oh, can I do this with any other kind of fruit or vegetable? And I say, no, absolutely not. I've tried it with courgettes and aubergines, and I've tried it with a cookie, but that didn't last for very long because it's hard enough to deal with the challenge of being present, let alone dealing with resisting temptation at the same time, unless you, of course, turn it into some kind of tantric Thich Nhat Hanh style eating cookie meditation, in which case you might need, I need a few cookies to last me 20 minutes, but you're supposed to do it, with just a raisin or a chocolate chip for half an hour or whatever. Just put him back in his cupboard. In all seriousness, I believe there must have been a very good reason why Rudolf Steiner chose the carrot over any other vegetable. We know he didn't like mushrooms. He thought they were evil because they grow in the dark and the damp. I love them personally, but each to their own. But maybe it's because they have so much vitamin A that they actually help you to see better in the darkness of your psyche, or maybe just that orange is the color of Buddhism. Or was it Pythagoras or Plato who said that everything partakes of consciousness to varying degrees, and perhaps carrots are the conscious kings of the vegetable, animal, mineral, spiritual kingdoms, or whatever.
No cats are the kings of every kingdom.
But anyway, try it for yourself and allow your mind to be blown. Let me know how you get on in the comments if you survive it. And yeah, this is quite an advanced level practice, so do hold on to your meditation cushions and your mala beads. And ooh, double-horned devil carrot has become a unicorn carrot. Yay! And I'll see you later, my cute, clever, classy, wonderful, conscious carrots. Nah, couldn't resist.